Obviously, they're missing the point. I guess they don't regularly watch my videos because they don't understand why I've been investing in videos exclusively lately. In the past year since June, I have not bought any DVDs except for 2, and 1 I got for free. As you guys know, I buy the VHSs because they're an extinct format and they're getting harder to get. And the only reason why I don't talk about DVDs is because everybody talks about DVDs. I think it's kind of boring. So what, they came out with a new version of this movie. I mean, I don't know. I get really bored watching DVD updates. I really do. I just feel like they have no historical value. At least not yet. VHSs do. In response to those couple of comments that said, dude, you gotta get DVDs. Well, I have bought DVDs, and before June, when I had that big VHS find, I did buy mostly DVDs. I went from buying a lot of VHSs, then I started buying a lot of DVDs for the special features mostly. The movies, a lot of them suck, but I love special features. I'm a filmmaker, at least I like to consider myself one, and I love to hear how they make a lot of these low-budget movies, especially in the 70s and 80s, so a lot of the movies I do buy just for their special features. But then, like I said, the flea market came and I got all those awesome VHSs for a great price, and it just renewed my interest in collecting VHS tapes. And that's why I haven't bought any DVDs in a while, except for the couple. And I'm just going to go through a lot of my DVDs, and most of them. I don't know how many I have, but I do have a lot. A lot of out-of-print ones because I've been buying them since the dawn of DVD, so I have some pretty cool ones. But I'm just going to show the 3 that I've gotten in the past year. So let's see. Now, my friend Walter, he really wanted to see New Year's Evil, and he wanted to do trade New Year's Evil for the movie he's made, because he's also a filmmaker, and I said, sure, why not? You know, I'm open-minded, let's check it out, and he sent me this. It's a movie he made, Scarlet Fry's Junk Food Horror Fest. Okay, so he actually signed it for me, too. Scarlet Fry is his stage name, I guess. His real name is Walter. It's a fun little low-budget cheesy movie. It has the daughter of Alice Cooper in it. She plays a junkie, and she really looks like one. It's a cool little flick. I think you could buy it on Amazon, or you could buy a couple of his other movies on Amazon, but check it out, okay? Now, the other ones I got, well, as a religious Friday the 13th fan, I had to get this. His name is Jason. I don't really need to show you the cover. There's been a bunch of videos on this already. The documentary is atrocious. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's not serious. The special features of some of them are pretty cool, like on location and stuff, but the documentary itself, it just didn't take the franchise seriously, in my opinion. It had stupid music in the background, and it interviewed people from websites that didn't know what they were talking about in regards to the series. I just think they didn't... It wasn't a scholarly documentary, and that's what I'm looking for. People talking scholarly about Friday the 13th. And that's not what it was. It's a bunch of actors and directors joking about how they made the movies and how it was a fun time. I want to hear more about behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to hear more about the context of the releases of the movies in the 80s, and you don't get a lot of that. A few good things about it is that you do get interviews from like really obscure characters throughout the series, and that was cool. But for the most part, I don't know, I just didn't like it. These people have to stop making documentaries if that's what they're going to be. Now, as a slasher fan, I love slasher films. I had to pick this up. This is the holy grail of slasher films, because for a long time it was only rumored to exist, the uncut version of My Bloody Valentine, and here it is. So I didn't even have to think about it. I had to pick this up. And I'm glad I did. Got it at a Best Buy or something. I usually never buy my movies at retail stores. I buy them online. They're just so much cheaper. I'm surprised people still buy DVDs in the store. Just way too much money. But I had a gift card, so I picked it up. I had to get this as a fan of slasher movies. Okay, so those are the ones that I've gotten in the past, I don't know, 10 months or whatever, right? So I'm just going to go through the rest of my collection and bring the camera closer up so you can see what I have. It's going to be a lot of different stuff, so. Alright guys, as you saw, I have a lot of stuff in my room, a lot of movies, a lot of DVDs, and I just have no more room for them, and it's gotten to a point where I have them packed away in cardboard boxes, a lot of them, or they're just stacked up on my floor because I have no more shelf space. So I'm going to start with the DVDs that are on my floor, just because they're easier to access. So, well, first I should say, none of them are in order. None of them. Most collectors are crazy about the order of their DVDs. I'm not. I just have no space. You really need a lot of space to have any kind of order system for a collection, and I don't have it. So even like the Friday 13th, not Friday 13th movies, but the Halloween movies, they're all scattered out throughout the collection, so I'll come across them at different points. I just, like I said, just don't have any room or space for it. And also, a lot of these aren't even opened, just because I'm a completist and I buy a lot of movies, just so I could have them for reference, and I don't get a chance to watch them or whatever. The largest order that I ever purchased was $800, and you can imagine how many DVDs that was. That was when Deep Discount was having one of their biannual discounts, 20%, or I think last year it was 25% off. So that's what I would do. I'd buy a whole bunch. Here's a Russian horror film, experimental horror film. I did a research paper on this director, Andrei Iskanov, if I'm saying that right. It's a really bizarre movie, experimental. Like I said, I did a research paper on it for my experimental film class, because I am a film student, as some of you guys know. So, also, I have an interest, well, my girlfriend is Russian, and her whole family's from Russia. She's the first generation to be born in America. So, it's, I lean towards Russian cultural stuff a little bit. This is some really weird stuff. It just seems really random at times, shot on video. Some of these I forgot I even had. Here we got Basket Case 2. I'm in love with the Basket Case series. Basket Case 2, there is no commentary track, unfortunately. I would have loved to hear a commentary track from the director, but it's not here. You get like a little documentary with him, like an interview or something, but that's it. This movie is my least favorite in the series anyway, but I'm glad to have it. I'm glad it was released on DVD. Not a horror movie, but a childhood favorite. I'm sure it is for a lot of you guys my age. P.'s Big Adventure. This is like a bunch of movies in one, just because it has little elements of adventure, horror, action. There's all kinds of stuff in this movie. It's just a really fun and strange movie at the same time. I'm a big Pee-wee fan. I love it. Witchboard, Anchor Bay. I don't have much to say about that. I love these double features. 2 movies for the price of 1. Irreversible. I saw this at a friend's house, or at least I saw that a controversial rape scene that lasted like 10 minutes or something. But I did see the whole movie, and it kind of runs backwards, I believe, right? Look, I haven't even opened it. I bought this years ago, but I just bought it just because I remembered it when I watched it at my friend's house. So that's an interesting little flick. Some of these aren't even obscure, but I'll talk about them anyway. 1 Hour Photo. A lot of people don't like this movie. It's a really weird movie with Robin Williams. I like it just because you see a different kind of character from Robin Williams. And I love stalker kind of films where you get this really creepy character who is infiltrating a perfect life of somebody or some family. And this is a creepy movie. I like it. Body Count. This is, I think, the Ruggero Deodato film. This is the import, and it's cut. Therefore, I never took the time to watch it once I found out it was cut. Actually, when I bought this on eBay years ago, they sent me the case, it was sealed and everything. There's no disc inside. Could you believe it? Manufacturing error. So I told them, and they sent me a new copy in the mail. This is the new one. Here we have SS Hell Camp. Now, for the most part, the Nazi exploitation films are really boring. This one is awesome. There's some really weird stuff in here. I think there's a scene where a Nazi soldier takes a child from a grandmother or her mother, and he throws the baby up into the air and he shoots it. And there's this weird beast inside of a cage where they're doing experiments and trying to have the beast mate with the girl. I mean, this is the best Nazi exploitation film. This is the top of the line one, but I have a lot of the other ones. Day of the Dead 2. I haven't seen it. I heard it sucks. Probably does suck. See it sealed. Don't have anything to say about that. American History X. This movie's brilliant. This is one of the few movies that I could watch over and over and over again. I love it. I have an interest in white power movements, and so I'm not advocating it or anything. I just have an interest in like those kind of cult movements. I think it's interesting how people believe in something like that, and it just takes over their life, which is what this movie's about. So, Unhinged. This was on the Video Nasties list in England for reasons I do not know. It's not that gruesome. I remember there's one really bloody scene in this movie. Otherwise, there's no reason to really watch this movie. There's a commentary track. It's supposed to be like a comedy commentary track. It's really not funny. It's kind of stupid. There's an Easter egg. It's kind of like an Easter egg on this movie where I think if you run the movie all the way to the end, you get a new main menu. I believe it's been a really long time since I watched this. Shopping Mall. This is not a slasher movie. I hate when people call this a slasher movie with robots. I mean, how do you have a slasher movie without robots? You need a slasher. You need a guy, a maniac. Robots are not maniacs. They're programmed machines. Not a slasher movie, but fun nonetheless. I love this movie. If you think about it, there's a lot of horror movies that take place in a shopping mall, but this is a fun one. Jason X. What more can I say about this movie? A lot of people hate the movie. I don't like the movie, but I love Jason in this movie. When I say I love Jason, I'm not saying I love how he looked, metal or not metal. I mean the character, the persona of Jason. Kane Hodder nailed it once again. Had some great death scenes. The House That Dripped Blood. Have not seen this.